You have murdered our brave Lee Munroe. You have butchered young Richard and Joe, and your hands with their blood are still gory, fulfilling the work of the foe. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. Then leave it to those who are willing to uphold it in war and in peace, to those men who intend to do killing until England's tyrannies cease. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. We'll stand by Daly and Larkin, by the British nose and Sullivan the Bold, and we'll break down the English connections, and we'll win back the nation you sold. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. You sold out the 6 counties for your freedom, when we had given you McCracken and Wolfstone, and God Ulstermen have fought for you in Dublin. Now you watch as we fight on the moon. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. And up in Ulster we're fighting on for freedom, for our people they yearn to be free. You executed those men who fought for us with a hangman from over the sea. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. You have murdered our brave Lee Munroe. You have butchered young Richard and Joe, and your hands with their blood are still gory, fulfilling the work of the foe. So take it down from the Mast, Irish traitor. It's the flag we Republicans claim. It can never belong to free staters. I have brought on it nothing but shame. It was on that really New Year's Day, as the shades of night came down, a lorry load of volunteers approached the border town. There was men from Dublin and from Cork, Fernoy and Tyrone, but the leader was a Limerick man, shouts out from Garryowen. And as they marched along the streets up to that barrack store, well, they found the danger they would meet, the fate that lay in store. They were fighting for old Ireland's cause that made their very own, but the leader was a Limerick man, shouts out from Garryowen. But the sergeant foiled their daring plans, he spied them through the door. With the Sten guns and the rifles, a hail of death it bore. And when an open night had passed, to Ireland is a very funny place, sir. It's a strange and troubled land. Oh, the Irish are a very funny race, sir. Every girl's in coming them on. Every doggy has a tricolored ribbon tied firmly to its tail. And I wouldn't be surprised if there be another line, said the man from the Daily Mail. Every bird upon my word is singing travel. I'm a rebel. Every hen and jay is laying hand grenades over there, sir. I declare, sir. And every cock in the farm is suckers throwing for the gale. And I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be another rhyme, said the man from the Daily Mail. Oh, the other day I travelled down the Clare, sir, and I spied in an old Doreen such a bunch of Fenians there, sir, dressed in orange, white and green. They were marching to the German goose step and whistling Brawny Whale. Oh, I'm shaking in my shoes and attending out the news, said the man from the Daily Mail. Every bird upon my word is singing travel. I'm a rebel. Every hen day the laying hand grenades over there, sir. I declare, sir. And every cock in the farmyard stock is throwing for the gale. And I wouldn't be surprised if there be another rise, said the man from the Daily Mail. Oh, the country is seething with sedition. It's Sinn Féin through and through. All the people there joined the provisionals and the password Sinn Féin too. The IRA sent me a time bomb in the mail. So be Jesus and be God, I'll be getting out tomorrow, said the man from the Daily Mail. Every bird upon my word is singing travel. I'm a rebel. Every hen and jay is laying hand grenades over there, sir. I declare, sir. And every cock in the farmyard stock is throwing for the gale. And I wouldn't be surprised if there be another rise, said the man from the Daily Mail. Oh, Ireland is a very funny place, sir. It's a strange and troubled land. Oh, the Irish are a very funny race, sir. Every girl's in common a man. Every donkey has a tricolored ribbon tied firmly to its tail. And I wouldn't be surprised if there be another rhyme, said the man from the Daily Mail. Every bird upon my word is singing travel. I'm a rebel. Every hen and jay is laying hand grenades over there, sir. I declare, sir. And every cock in the farmyard stock is throwing for the gale. And I wouldn't be surprised if there be another rhyme, said the man from the Daily Mail. Some men went to Dungannon town, the barracks for the case, and noticed how the Queen's Army gave class to that new place. With your IRA, ricochet, banging on your loud back drum. The RUC, they knew that we had planned to have some sport, for they'd read a piece of our police in a Free State News report. With your IRA, ricochet, playing on your loud back drum. The RUC had read the news and said, well, now that's that. When suddenly, to their surprise, there came a rat-tat-tat. With your IRA, ricochet, playing on your lambig drum. Now what's going on out there, they said. Now come on, stop this lark. Are you Protestants or Fenian men that's out there in the dark? With your IRA, ricochet, playing on your lambig drum. You see, man went outside but came right in again when he found that he was looking down the barrel of a stand. With your IRA, ricochet, playing on your lambig drum. They blew the barracks up that night, and the RUC as well. And if the British soldiers came, they said they'd blow them all to hell. With your IRA, ricochet, playing on your lambig drum. There are 10 loyal policemen now, they're signing on the dole, and they'd love to get those Irish pests and shove it up his hole. With your IRA, ricochet, banging on your lambig drum. My name is George Campbell at the age of 18. I joined the United Men to strive for the green, and many's the battle I did undergo with our hero commander the people oppressed, they rose up in defense. When Munroe left the mountains, his men took the field, and they fought for 12 hours and never did yield. Munroe, being tired and in want of a sleep, gave a woman 10 guineas, his secret to keep. When she had the money, the devil tempted her so. She sent for the soldiers and surrendered Munroe. The soldiers, they came and surrounded the place, and they took him to Lisburn, and they lodged him in jail. And his father and mother, in passing that way, heard the very last words that their dear son did say. I'll die for my country as I fought for her cause, and I don't fear your soldiers, nor yet heed your laws. And let every true man who hates Ireland's foe fight bravely for freedom like Henry Munroe. 'Twas early next morning when the sun was still low, they murdered our hero, brave General Munroe, and high o'er the courthouse stuck his head on a spear, for to make the united men tremble and fear. Up came Munroe's sister, she was all dressed in green, with a sword by her side that was well sharp and keen, saying, God save old Ireland, and the way she did go, saying, I'll have revenge for my brother Munroe. Oh, you good men who listen, just think of the fate of our heroes who died in the year 98. For Ireland, your nation, would be free long ago if her sons were all rebels like Henry Munroe. And Ulster man I am proud to be, from the Antrim glens I come. And though I labour by the sea, I have followed flag and drum. I have heard their martial tramp of men, I've seen men fight and die. Alas, do I remember when I followed Henry Joy. I pulled my boat in from the sea, and I hid my sails away. I cut my nets under a tree, and I scanned the moonlit day. The boys were out, the redcoats too. I kissed my wife goodbye, and there beneath that greenwood shade I followed Henry Joy. Well, we fought for Ireland's glory then, for home and sire we bled. Though our numbers few, our hearts beat true, and 5 to 1 lay dead. I and many a mother mourned her lad, and many a man his boy. For youth was strong in the dashing throng that followed Henry Joy. In Belfast town they built a tree, and the redcoats mustered there. I heard him come, and the beating of the drum did sound o'er the barrack square. He kissed his sister went along, and said a sad goodbye. Alas, he died, I turned and I cried, you have murdered Henry Joy.
I was born in a Dublin street where the loyal drums did beat, and the loving English feet they tramped all over us. And every single night that me father came home tight, he'd invite the neighbours outside with his chorus. Come out, you licking can, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you want nettles down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes in Killeshandra. Come let me hear you tell how you slammed the brave Purnell when you thought them well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you bravely let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you licking pan, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killeshandra. Alan Larkin and O'Brien, how you bravely called them swine. Robert Emmett, who you hung and threw and quartered. High upon the scaffold high, how you murdered Henry Joy, and our proppy boys in Wexford you did slaughter. Come out, you licking pan, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killeshandra. Well, the day is coming fast and the time is nearly past when each Shawnee will be cast aside before us. And if there be a need, then we kids will say Godspeed with a bar or two of Stephen Bean's chorus. Come out, you licking pan, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely. lovely lanes of Killeshandra. I sat within the valley green, I sat me with my true love. My sad heart strove to choose between the old love and the new love, the old for her, the new that made me think of Ireland dearly, while soft the wind blew down the glen and shook the golden barley. How hard the bitter words to frame, to break the ties that bound us, but harder still to bear the shame of foreign chains around us. And so I said, a mountain glen I'll seek at morning early, and join the brave united men, while soft wind shakes the barley. As sad I kissed away her tears, her soft arms round me clinging, when suddenly the foeman shot from out the wild woods ringing. The bullet pierced my true love's heart in life's young spring so early, and on my breast in blood she died, while soft wind shook the barley. But blood for blood without remorse, I'll take her to Larthollow, and I have lain her clay cold corpse, where I full soon must follow, as round her grave I wander drear, night, noon, and morning early, with breaking heart whene'er I hear the wind that shakes the barley.
As down the glen one Easter morn to a city fair rode I, their armoured lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound its loud tattoo, but the angelus bell on Liffey's sound rang out in the Foggey Dew. But the bravest fell and the requiem bell rang mournfully and clear, for those who died at Easter tide at the springtime of the year. of the Foggey road again, my heart will be sore. But I parted then with Barley, and I will never see no more. But to and fro in my dreams I go, and I kneel and I pray for you. When slavery fled, oh you rebels, dead when you fell in the
Who dares to say forget the past to men of Irish birth? Who dares to say cease fighting for our place upon this earth? Let remembrance be our watchword, and our dead we'll never fail. Let their graves be to us as milestones on that blood-soaked one-way trail. Remember how Munroe fought Port Leicester Mill beside. No man can say a coward fell when Hugh O'Donnell died. Remember Ruth and Sarsfield, and forget whoever will that glorious stand at Limerick at Kilmacadden Hill. How Emmet's gallant handful in historic Dublin town came out to give their challenge to the forces of the crown. And then for a time 'twas silence. Was Ireland's struggle done? The answers in the negative thundered many a Fenian gun. And then when England thought she'd won, that we at last were meek, roared forth the glorious challenge of the men of Easter week. Remember how our soldiers fought the scum of many lands, fought the scum of British prisons and Britain's blackened tans. And then by men we trusted, this land of ours was sold. They sold their friends to enemies as Judas did of old. Remember how in Kerry they butchered our lads like swine. God, think of Ballyseedy where they tied them to a mine. How Rory and Liam and Dick and Joe, to glut the imperial beast, were murdered while in prison on our Blessed Lady's feast. How with overworked revolver, as he dashed from that hotel, roared the rebels' last defiance as Cathal Brugha fell. Hear we not the voice of Connolly, the worker's soldier friend? The conquered soul asserts itself, and we shall rise again. For freedom, yes, and not to starve, and not for rocks and clay, but for the lives of Ireland's working class, we fight and die today. And what, says Cathal Brugha, if the last man is on the ground, if he is lying weak and helpless, and his enemies ring him round, if he's fired his last bullet, if he's fired his final shot, and they say, come into the empire, he should answer, I will not. Then back to that one-way trail. Ní Síocháin go Saoirse is the war cry of the Gael. While our country stands beside us, with the blood of martyrs set, wayside crosses to remind us, who dares to say forget? While Emmet's tomb is uninscribed, until we our rights assert, until our country takes her place among the nations of the earth.
I was young, I had a twist for punching babies with me fist. And then I thought I would enlist and join the British Army. Oh, they're looking for monkeys in the zoo. And if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. When I was young, I used to be a fine lad at the B&C in the Prince of Wales. He says to me, come join the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. And if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Corporal Davy went away, he left his wife in the family way, and the only thing that she could say was blame the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo, and if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Celtic soldiers wear no drawers, Mary won't you lend them yours, the poor should always help the poor, God save the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo, and if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Ian Paisley has the drill, fill him up with Guinness stout. He beat the enemy with his mouth and save the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo, and if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. With a fuss and leave the bones out in the dust. I know where they quite maybe was the gallant British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo, and if I had a face like you, I would join the British Army. So if you're young and in your prime and fond of every kind of crime, I promise you a jolly good time inside the British Army. I'll leave me mind and what to do, and I'll work me thinking of to you, and I'll come the British Army. In Dublin City in 1913, the boss was boss and poor was slaves. The women working and the children hungry. Then on came Larkin like a mighty wave. The workmen cringed when the bossman thundered, and just 10 hours was his weekly chore. He asked for little and less was granted. Less getting little, he would ask for more. Then God sent Larkin, so dark and handsome, a mighty man with a mighty tongue. The voice of justice, the voice of labour, and he was gifted and he was young. And God sent Larkin in 1913, a mighty man with a mighty tongue. He raised the workers, he gave them courage. He was a leader, a worker's son. In the month of August, the bossman told us no union men for him could work. We stood by Larkin, we told the bossman we'd fight or die, but we would not shirk. 8 months we fought and 8 months we starved. We stood by Larkin through thick and thin. But foodless homes and the crying of children, they broke our hearts and we could not win. Then Larkin left us, we seemed defeated. The night was black for the working man. And on came Connolly with hope and counsel. His motto was that we'd rise again. In Dublin City in 1916, the English soldiers, they burned the town. They shelled the buildings, they shot our leaders. The harp was buried beneath the crown. They shot McDermott and Pearson Plunkett. They shot MacDonough and Clark the Brave. From Bleak Kilmaine and they took their bodies to Arbor Hill, to a quicklime grave. And last of all of our 7 heroes, I'll sing the praise of James Connolly. The voice of justice, the voice of freedom, who gave his life that men might be free. There's a uniform hanging in what's known as Father's room, a uniform so simple in its style. It has no braid of silk nor gold, no hat with feathered plume, yet me mother has preserved it all the while. One day she made me try it on, a wish of mine for years, just in memory of your father, Sean, she said. And as I tried the Sam Brown on, she was smiling through her tears, and she placed the broad black brimmer on me head. It's just a broad black brimmer, its ribbons frayed and torn by the careless wisp of many's a mountain breeze. An old trench coat that's all battle-stained and worn, and the breeches almost threadbare at the knees. A Sam Brown belt with a buckle big and strong, and a holster that's been empty many's a day. But when men claim Ireland's freedom, the one they'll choose to lead 'em will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA. That uniform was worn by me father long ago, when he reached me mother's homestead on the run. That uniform was wore in that little church below, when Father Mac, he blessed the pair as one. Then after truce and treaty, at the parting of the ways, he wore it when he marched out with the rest. And as they bore his body down the rugged heather braes, they placed the broad black brimmer on his breast. It's just a broad black brimmer, its ribbons frayed and torn by the careless wisp of many's a mountain breeze. An old trench coat that's all battle-stained and worn, and the breeches almost threadbare at the knees. A Sam Brown belt with a buckle big and strong, and a holster that's been empty many's a day. But when men claim Ireland's freedom, the one they'll choose to lead 'em will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA. There's a uniform hanging in what's known as Father's room, a uniform so simple in its style. It has no braid or silk nor gold, no hat with feathered plume, yet me mother has preserved it all the while. One day she made me try it on, a wish of mine for years, just in memory of your father, Sean, she said. And as I tried the Sam Brown on, she was smiling through her tears, and she placed a broad black brimmer on me head. It's just a broad black brimmer, its ribbons frayed and torn by the careless wisp of many's a mountain breeze. An old trench coat that's all battle-stained and worn, and the breeches almost threadbare at the knees. A Sam Brown belt with a buckle big and strong, and a holster that's been empty many's a day. But when men claim Ireland's freedom, the one they choose to lead 'em will wear the broad black brimmer of the IRA.